Morning folks, it's a beautiful summer's Monday morning here in the Eden Valley. I'm making this video, I'm having a day off, but I'm documenting my day off just because I thought it might be quite kind of interesting to you guys. The past 10-14 days has been utterly mental for a number of different reasons. As I've said previously, I'm in the process of renovating a new house to move into, and then I'm going to begin renovating my own house. But where I've been at with that is I've been working all day, and then in the evenings I've been putting emulsion on, glossing, I've been laying vinyl floor. I'm pretty much sorted with that now, and I'm hoping by this following weekend that I can get my family moved in and get them sorted out. Now that's been mad enough. In addition to that, unfortunately my wife put her back out, and I mean, like, really sucked. She couldn't get up and down stairs and stuff, and so for a few days that was nuts. I had to help her out with that. Well, like literally last Thursday, my father-in-law was ill, and I had to take him to A&E on, that was a Wednesday night, I'm not sure, I can't remember anyway. But anyway, we ended up there till 4 o'clock in the morning. It's just been madness, utter madness, and I've got to a point where I don't know where I'm at. I know that I need a day off. It was great this weekend, the weather was dead good, and it was nice to see everybody, and that was cool. But essentially I got to today and I really need to have a day off. I don't know what's going on, I don't know where my head's at, I don't know what's happening. Let's just take a day. So, applying some logic to it, some caffeinated logic to it, I figured the best way to get a handle on where you are right now is to try and remember and get an appreciation of where you've come from. This is Long Martin, the village that I grew up in. I lived here sort of 1980 to 1997, 98. Lived here a long time anyway. I used to live down round that corner, give you a bit of a spin round, up towards the top end of the village. That white place is the pub. Behind me here where I'm parked, that's the village hall. That's where the youth club and the discos were. Now this place, I can't emphasise how small this place is. I'm about to get run over though, but it was, well, to be honest with you, I grew up with a group of about 5 lads, roughly the same age, maybe like a couple of years between us, but we all got into mountain biking, so it was there wasn't, obviously you can see this place, there wasn't much else going on. I'm just for old time's sake, I'm just going to go and stand in this is the old bus stop where I used to get picked up for school every morning. Anyway, it's a small spot, there's 5 of us or so who all got into mountain biking. There's 4 or 5 of us who are still into mountain biking now. Stu Cowperthwaite does enduro racing, not enduro, endurance racing, like not on classic enduro bikes. I think he does like hardtails and also, anyway, he rides for miles. He's like a bloody greyhound. He was like that when we were kids. You've got Andrew Bland, who still podiums away on the PMBAs now in his age category. You've got Andy Kipp, who Andy Kipp got, I believe he got a podium at Halfyell Bike Park in the World Masters, and then you've got me, who owns a bike park. So it's a pretty unique place. This spot was so small when I was living in Manchester. I didn't used to try and describe it to people. There's like, I used to say that was from Penrith. That was where I was born. I never used to even bother trying to describe this village to people when I lived in Manchester, because they just weren't going to grab it. Anyway, you could kind of like ride your bike around here, and we did. Both of these benches we used to hop up onto and get our front wheels on benches and do hops on there. on that one as well. I think that one was a particular favourite. But you could ride your bike around here, but this is also right on the foot of the Pennines. And right there, I'm going to walk you over to it so you can get a sense of scale. If I was awesome, I would like do insert maps and stuff now to give you an idea of where in the world we are, but I'm not going to do that. So, 1.75 miles away is Dufton. Dufton, a place even smaller than the place we grew up. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why would we spend so much time here if we already lived in somewhere small? Why would we bike the 1.75 miles to get to somewhere even smaller? Dufton has a very interesting trick up its sleeve about where it's based, and when you're a bunch of kids who are avidly into mountain biking, that's what's right behind the village. See all the Pennines on here. I hope this shows up, but if it doesn't show up, let's go and take a closer look. Now, when you were a group of kids that were all avidly into mountain biking, growing up in the kind of mid to late 80s, early 90s, what was way cooler than someone having a Sega or a Nintendo in the bedrooms? Having this as your backyard. This is just outside the village of Dufton. We're now, what, 2 miles away from Longmartin, from home. There's no mobile phones obviously in those days. You just you told your mum and dad that you were with your mates, and this is what time you were going to be back. And having kids now, I can't believe this went on, but it was just the norm. They just said, okay, crack on, have a good time, and so we'd disappear out onto here. Summer holidays, school half terms, anything after school, when the nights were light, this is where we would end up, either here or one of the fells along that way or the other way. This was probably closest. So that pointy one is Dufton Pike. You can probably imagine that we had a top time when it was sledging season. That was Dufton Pike. Then behind that and above it is a place called the Shooting Box. Fingers crossed that it's still there, but we'll go and investigate. So I'm now around the back of Dufton Pike, which is that pointy one there that I showed you just a few moments ago from the front side. Down all this sort of area, to be honest, it's all been explored when I was a kid. Legitimately explored, shaky ground, because we were kids, didn't really know any better. This that I'm on today, this is a bridleway, so this is legit. So where we're heading is actually, you can see, I don't know if you can see the moon up above the pike there. Where we're heading is above, higher than that, and is up this kind of gorge up here, but I'll give you a better look at that when we get a bit closer. Right, so I've climbed up to a section that we used to call the gate. I know 0 points for imaginative names there, is it? But I'm going to tag Andrew Bland and Stu Cowp into this somehow, if I can, because behind us, I don't know if memory serves me well, lads, just past where the lime kiln, wasn't the section from just past that, where that scree slope is, coming down here. Is this what we used to call the roller coaster? I think it is, but yeah, give us a shout if you can remember better than me. But I'll just give everybody else a bit of an idea of time scales here. We're looking at Canty brakes, to be honest. Yeah, this predates V brakes, so 0 suspension for a set off, chuck that out the window, that wasn't a thing. Latterly we did it with, well, Blandy did it with a flex stem. Cowp, didn't you have some old pace forks? Anyway, reminiscing too far on that one. First times was a Muddy Fox Roadrunner. It was white with like a shocking pink bit on the bottom, and that had like a U-brake underneath the chainstay that just used to fill up with mud and become useless, and then canties on the front, and it was way too big for us as well. Well, I don't know what everybody else was, but Rally Mustangs were pretty popular at that time. I don't know what, I can't remember what everybody else was on. Anyway, there was a few bikes came after that. Like I went backwards from the Woody Fox to something called an ML, which was it was, at least that was the right size for us, but man, it was a dodgy bike, especially for this kind of terrain. I'm sure it had one of them stickers on it that was like, don't go mountain. I know this is a mountain bike, but don't go mountain biking on it. Then a Specialized hard rock, Marion Eldridge. Lastly, I suppose, was the last thing I had to do this on. Eldridge was still was it Canty or V-brake by then? No, it still predates V-brakes. Still little Diacomp Canties, or Shimano LX, Dior LX, I think. Whoa, loads of old memories of that thing. But still, this is pretty rugged. You'll see when we get up there, but this is pretty rugged terrain. And now we flash forward 20 years, maybe a bit shorter than 20 years, umpteen years anyway, to this blowing thing, which, you know, used to push a lot of the way up here, but pedalled up, and now it's a bit of a different ball game. It's going to be a whole different ball game coming down. But never mind coming down, we're not at the top yet. So here we are, made it up to the lime kiln. There was many a time spent in there sheltering from the rain in November or something stupid like that. I'm going to step back a little bit and point you up, but it's, I kind of call it the Cumbrian Dolomites, so to speak. But this is the ridgeway that we're heading up. You can see down the valley here, down towards where Knock Pike is. We're going to get up and above that in the end. But yeah, it's crazy to think that this is where we grew up. So this is our back garden playground, so to speak. I mean, very, very lucky for that. I appreciate now at 41 what 12, 13-year-old me was lucky enough to have. But yeah, we made good use of it. Maybe this is all why we're still in at mountain biking now. Who knows? Anyway, let's climb a little bit further and have some lunch. You've got to laugh or you'd bloody cry. Life has transpired or conspired to give me the most authentic experience possible up here. As I remember when we were kids, well, let's have a look around to see all these big boulders, like big rocks and stuff. They're sort of like the size of your hand and stuff. I remember when we were up here, you used to get a lot of punctures back in them days. Now I haven't got a puncture today because I'm on posh new modern tubeless and gunk systems. But what I have done is realised that after yesterday thrashing about in the park, that I didn't give my bike the once over. Shocking mistake on my part, but I didn't. And what I've found is, this might be a bit tricky. How am I going to hold this? Let's just see. If I can point you down there, or point you here, you might notice that I've got a loose back wheel. Probably, I just can't sit this up again. He's having a mare. Probably due to just thrashing around in the bike park yesterday. Now, very, very easily fixable. Just needs a quick tighten up with a multi-tool. Tighten everything back down and we're good to go again. The trick with that is, in my bag, I've got all of my camera equipment and water and stuff like that. But my multi-tool is on the passenger seat of my car, which is all the way down there, the other side of that pike thing. That's handy, isn't it? It's a good spot for it to be. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know if you can see up there, there's like a funny old little building. I don't know what it is. I don't even know if, in all the times that I've come up here when we were kids, if I've ever been to check out what that is. So we're going to do that today instead. So I get up to this thing and I'm like, right, well, it's not a hut. It's not man-made at all. It's just weirdly eroded, just a big lump of rock that appears to have weirdly eroded into some sort of square shape. So I'm like, well, that makes sense, because why on earth would you build something up here? I appreciate the lime kilns down there, but obviously that was for whatever they were doing down there. But anyway, get around the corner a little bit and I'm thinking, yeah, why would anybody build something man-made all the way up here? We get up here a bit, find this. I genuinely don't think I've ever seen this before. I think I would have remembered. What the hell's been going on here? This is definitely man-made. Some sort of shelter or something, or hobbit hole, or whatever it might be. Anyway, it's a fair way from civilization. Some crazy Cumbrians got on the ale a bit and been like, oh, I'll make it up here. Gotta say, there's a fairly strong view over here. Obviously this is the kind of valleyway thing that we've just come up. That's the Eden Valley in the bottom there, and then over the back, you might not be able to show on GoPro, but those are the Lakeland Mountains. Turns out it's pretty cool up here anyway. Self-imposed mechanical divvy, but still good for a day off. Right, well, a self-imposed mechanical, bit of an own goal on that one. To be fair, if you're gonna ride the park hard one day and then not bother to check your bike before taking it out for a ride the next day, then what are you expecting? Anyway, I've come back down in total limp mode. Probably still got back down that roller coaster section faster than I've ever done on the old school bike. I just don't want to rattle it too much over these rocks. But overall, what do I think about it? Well, really good. I'm kind of pleased it's happened. I've had a chance to get nostalgic about old rides, but the part of today that you didn't see is that I was gonna hang out with Terry today, but he was well, we were both kind of we just missed each other this morning. He put his alarm back on to snooze after messaging us, fell asleep, and anyway, we never got to do what we were going to do. So what it means is I didn't reach the top of here today, didn't ride with Ted. It's a great excuse to come back and do it another day. And hey, you know, it's nostalgic. The views aren't half bad, and ultimately it's been a day off and done the trick. So up there for the shooting box, we're gonna have to leave that for another time. So until next time, that's enough from me. Thanks very much for your time. See you in a bit.